Hi folks, Bill Gilbert here with Encore AV, and we are really excited to have our hands on one of the very first new offerings from Balackmagic Designs, and that is the ATEM Mini Pro. This is a very, very powerful little tool here. If you're a live web streamer, you've got a small church that you stream out of, or even a large church for that fact that you stream out of, or if you do basic presentations for your business or a company, this switcher is packed full of a ton of tools that can help to level up your presentation game. So I'm going to go over just some of the real quick features on this. I know that some people already are aware of what the ATEM Mini was, but this adds a lot more features, and this is only going to touch on the surface of what it's capable of. Obviously, once you connect this to the software that gets underneath the hood and makes changes to this switcher, it opens up a world of opportunities that you wouldn't expect for something that comes in at just under $600. So we're going to start off first by looking at the back side of this here and showing that it does have two audio microphone inputs. These are set up as 3.5 millimeter connections. We also have 1, 2, 3, and 4 HDMI inputs, which of course also pass the audio. And there's a feature about that works with the ATEM Studio pocket camera that is, again, if you connect it into the software, that these new HDMI connections here will offer you some features that were not previously offered with the new software update. Then there's a singular HDMI output that is configurable. Also, the USB compact or USB-C connection to be able to connect an external drive or to connect it into a computer, but as well then of course the usual connection for Ethernet. This can be either connected to a computer or directly to a router in order to be able to get to the World Wide Web. And then finally of course our power connector, and with the Pro insignia on this, it would be my hope that they would make a connection that locked in, and it is the case here. This is a screw-in style, so that does lock in place. That's the basics of the back side of the switcher, but now let's look at the front side here and see what features it offers. If we look up at the top up here, you can see that these are just the basic controls to turn on and off the audio connections here. There are some simple ups and down volume controls. We look below that here, we have our standard input buttons here that allow us to be able to switch between the different inputs through either cut or auto transition. There is, again, a feature when you hook the software up to where you can put this in a mode to do a program preview concept, which again, we're going to show you in a future video. So these buttons here are for the audio purposes of the switcher, and if we look here, we can see where we can just turn audio's on, audio's off. We can do audio follow video, and what that does is that if I cut back and forth between these inputs, you see that the light goes red when I cut to it, and then it goes to white when I cut away from it. That means that the audio is on and then off. So then the other feature here is to do a reset. Again, some of those things are better explained when you have the software connected to it. If we move across the switcher here, we can see that they do have a still store and a black button here as part of the input bus. The still store can be stored through the software. You can actually set up multiple still stores and have them ready to be able to load as you need them if you're presenting. The next couple of buttons, of course, are the different types of transitions we might use, whether it's a cut or an auto trans. When we're in the transition, we have timing adjustments, so we can do a quick adjustment of the timing here. So, and on this, it's preset to do, we have 1 second, half second, 2 seconds, and 15 frames. Over here, we actually have the capabilities of taking it between what would be a dip auto dissolve, or we can do a mix auto dissolve. We also have a couple of different wipe options here, all under the auto guise. And again, we'll set this thing up and we'll show you deeply under the hood on a future video here. But I want to get through it quick. The next panel over here is actually a great feature that it was not in the original, is the MV button. When we have the MV selected, that is the multi-view. Now what a multi-view does is it gives you the ability to be able to see all 4 inputs, the audio coming from all 4 inputs, It also gives you the ability to see a program preview setup, so you can see what you have queued ready to go, and then what's actually going out your program output or your stream. And then as well, it'll give you the ability to tell if your stream is online and live, what your bit rates are, information about the stream. It'll also give you the ability to be able to look into whether you're recording or not, and what your still store is, so you don't take an improper still store. And then as well, if you're working within a key or a picture-in-picture. So the multi-view is also configurable within this. It's got some basic configuration, again, all done within the software. And then as well, these buttons over here also give you the ability on the video output off the back, the HDMI, you can have it just be programmed, say if you wanted to do a local record through the HDMI, or you can select any one of the inputs. And the reason you might have that in there is if you did want to isolate, say, the camera input for record, but yet you wanted to be able to have the switch back and forth on your live stream to a computer or something else that you might have connected, that would be a reason why you might want to do that. Or let's say you're working with talent that needs to be able to see that they're in frame and you wanted to use their camera output into a flat panel monitor or something that's connected for the talent to be able to see themselves. The section of buttons up above that are 4 of these are new buttons to this unit, and this one here is been here before, and that is the key button. But the most important feature of the ATEM Mini Pro at this point is that the fact that you can stream right out of this switcher. If you can get it to the internet, all you have to do is get your settings set up within the software interface, and then when you press on air here, you're now streaming right from this switcher. So that feature in and of itself is a huge plus for people that are trying to get up and running with a new live streaming services. Say you're a house of worship and you've never streamed live to Facebook or YouTube. This has the RTMP encoders built directly inside of it, a hardware-based encoding, so that you can get to real-time media playing connections. It has the presets for Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook Live already in the box. So that feature in and of itself makes this box itself worth one of its other codec boxes that it's previously built from Blackmagic that it sells at $500. This here for another $100 more, you actually have a live switcher that will take 4 HDMI inputs and give you other features that a high-level switcher gives you, all in this tiny little box. So that was a very, very quick overview of what the switcher gives you. I will be in touch with you in the future with new instructional videos with what the software offers, how to set up a live stream, as well as the features that this switcher gives you when you connect one of their new or software updated Pocket Mini studio cameras to this. You actually get all of the CCU style controls or camera controls that you would have gotten in a higher level studio camera with a higher level switcher and its external controls, all within this one little box. Blackmagic has really outdone themselves on what this product offers for today's market. Again, Bill Gilbert with Encore AV. This is the new Blackmagic Designs ATEM Mini Pro switcher.